We begin tonight with a live look at Tel Aviv as tensions continue to rise between Iran and Israel. The conflict stems from a fight over Iran's nuclear weapons program. Today, Iran launched a ballistic missile attack into Israel. Iran's state media reported its air defense systems intercepted Israeli drones over Tehran. One of the missiles hit a hospital. In an effort to de-escalate tensions, representatives from France, Germany, and the United Kingdom met with Iran's foreign minister in Switzerland. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump says he'll use the next 2 weeks to decide whether or not to use military force against Iran.
But we're ready, willing, and able, and we've been speaking to Iran, and we'll see what happens.
What was the thought process behind 2-week timetable?
Just time to see whether or not people come to their senses.
Representatives from Europe have encouraged Iran to continue negotiations with the U.S. Iranian leaders said it is open to continuing talks with Europe. And KVUE's Daniel Perot spoke with members of the congressional delegation representing Central Texas to get their thoughts on the conflict and what the United States should do. Daniel?
Quita, most of the Texas congressional delegation is back home in their districts this weekend, but they are certainly keeping a close eye on events in Washington and the Middle East. Representative Pete Sessions, who represents parts of Williamson County, including Round Rock, says that he's supportive of a military strike. He says there is support among members of Congress for military action, but the question is, what does that look like? Sessions has represented Texas in Congress since 1996. That means he's been around for a number of conflicts in the Middle East. I caught up with him today at the ribbon-cutting ceremony for a new section of highway in Williamson County. Sessions says he doesn't worry about a wider war if U.S. forces do carry out a strike on a nuclear facility. He says Israel has backed Iran into a corner, but needs help to finish the task. Sessions says that he supports whatever President Trump decides to do to bring Iran's nuclear program to an end.
Our air superiority does not mean that we have to come in and put boots on the ground. I think that what will happen is that our goal should be to end the nuclear bomb threat that they have against the United States, against the rest of the free world.
Earlier this week, we caught up with Congressman Lloyd Doggett. He was part of a bipartisan group of House lawmakers who are urging President Trump to resist joining the fray without congressional approval. He signed on to a resolution asking the president to seek congressional approval if he decides to commit U.S. armed forces to Iran.
We could face a catastrophic situation if we find Americans fighting Iran, starting a war with or without approval of Congress. That endangers our vulnerable troops in the Mideast, that threatens Americans with terrorism here at home, and certainly those bombs could blow up our economy by halting the flow of oil.
Senator Ted Cruz has pushed for a regime change in Iran, saying that it would, quote, enhance American security massively. Other members of the Texas congressional delegation have been more measured on this issue. In an interview with Fox News, Senator John Cornyn said the United States does not need to take the lead in this effort, adding that Israel has a variety of options to destroy the Fordo nuclear facility with or without American support. With so much uncertainty about what the war could bring and a possible U.S. military confrontation looming, Congress members will certainly be watching closely how things play out.